believe in what I can be and all that I am. Show me the stairway I have to climb. Lord, for my sake, teach me to take one day at a time. One day at a time. Sweet Jesus, that's all I'm asking from you. Just give me the strength to do every day what I have to do. Yesterday's gone, sweet Jesus, and tomorrow may never be mine. Teach me today, show me the way, one day at a time. Lord, you remember when you walked among men. Well, Jesus, you know, as we look here below, things are worse now than then. Pushing and shoving around in my mind. Lord, for my sake, teach me to take one day at a time. One day at a time, sweet Jesus, that's all I'm asking from you. Give me the strength to do every day what I have to do. Yesterday's gone, sweet Jesus, and tomorrow may never be mine. Teach me today, show me the way, one day at a time. Just teach me today, show me the way, one day at a time.
You know, there's a lot of people that can sing a song, but there's not many singers out there. There's one. I thought of something this week as I was thinking about what I was going to share with you today. In April 1963, 1 month before I was discharged from the Navy, the nuclear submarine, the Thrasher, pride of the American fleet, was going to dive deeper than any submarine had ever dived before. The Thrasher made its dive. There were a lot of ships that were monitoring, keeping track. Deeper, deeper, deeper. Records were broken. All of a sudden, all communication stopped. The Thrasher disappeared from sonar. The sub and 129 men on board were lost. The submarine was crushed under the pressure of the depths of the Atlantic Ocean. I've never forgotten that. The reason I told that is because today there are literally millions of people being crushed by the pressures of life. If you believe statistics, 80% of the people who are in hospitals are there because of disease related to stress. A few years ago, a magazine that I was receiving at the time, I don't think they're even published anymore, they may still be, called Psychology Today. They had as a headline on the front page of the magazine, quote, "Businessmen who do not know how to handle stress and worry die young," end of quote. Today, it's not just businessmen, it's all of us. We live in a fast-paced, hectic, stressful time. It seems we're always playing catch-up. We're always in a hurry. We press the speed limit just as far as we can, thinking that we won't get caught. Fear, anxiety, worry, stress is taking its toll on people's lives today. We fear the unknown. There are things going on in this country right now. Nobody can figure out what they're doing or why they're doing it. It's crazy. Crazy things. Now, the sermon will change gears in a few minutes. I'm going to get off of this. A rabbi and a priest decided they were friends. They were going to go to a boxing match. And the rabbi had never been to one, and they watched the boxers being introduced into the ring. And just as they were about to begin the fight, one of the boxers made the sign of the cross. And the rabbi looked at the priest and said, "What does that mean?" The priest said, "It don't mean a darn thing if you don't know how to fight." People better learn what's going on. God said there would come a time when men's hearts would be failing them for fear of what was coming on them. We have no clue what's going on. Now, I know they try to tell us that the food we eat causes all our heart problems. And then they change their mind every few months about what food we're supposed to eat. How many remember when eggs would kill you? Do not eat the yolk of an egg, it'll kill you. One a week is maximum. I eat 3 at a time. At least once a week. I love egg sandwiches. I like eggs. People were buying egg whites because they were afraid to eat a yolk. And now they've changed their mind. The eggs are good for you. I mean, remember when they said, oh, anything over 1 cup of coffee will kill you? How many ought to be dead? I should have been dead years ago. Now they're saying if you drink at least 4 cups a day, it's good for your heart. It's not what you eat, it's what's eating you that kills you. What are you stressed out about? What are you worried about? Philippians 4:6 says, be careful or don't worry about anything. Some people take pride in the fact that they're worriers. Now, I had a sister who was a worrier. Worry is a sin. It's not a virtue. It's not something to be proud of. Worry is lack of faith. Actually, it's faith in reverse, because it's impossible to worry and have faith at the same time, because they're going in opposite directions. The Apostle Paul gave the secret to life. He said, forgetting those things which are behind, I press towards the mark of the prize of the high calling. He had a goal. He had something to look forward to. So the advice is, forget the dead past. Stop worrying about the fatal future, and live one day at a time. I asked Joe to sing that song. Jesus said exactly the same thing, gave exactly the same secret when he said, take no thought. Don't worry about tomorrow. Tomorrow will take thought of the things of itself. Sufficient to the day is the evil thereof. If you take care of today, you won't have to worry about the past or the future. Why? Because today is the only day you have to do anything. The past is already gone. There's nothing you can do about the yesterday. And tomorrow will never be here. Because when you get to tomorrow, it'll still be tomorrow. Today is the only day you have to do anything. Now, we're fixing to shift gears here in a minute. I know some of you are planning on being happy someday. Just as soon as you finish this or start that, just as soon as you get a raise, just as soon as you get a new job, just as soon as the kids graduate, just as soon as you get the promotion, you're going to be happy someday. No, you're not. If you can't be happy today, what makes you think you're going to be happy tomorrow? Amen. Nothing's going to change. Why is the most prescribed medicine by doctors today, why are they tranquilizers? Because people are filled with so much fear and worry and stress and anxiety. Their hearts are failing them. And they think they need something to mellow them out. Worry. You worriers? How many worriers we got here? Everybody worries. Now some of you just flat lying. The altars will be open for all of you that didn't tell the truth to repent. Let me remind you of something important. All that you are accomplishing with your worry is that it's eating the lining out of the wall of your stomach. It's filling your arteries with plaque. It's creating blockages in your heart. And it's building arthritis in your joints. And a whole list of other problems that are listed as a result of stress and worry and anxiety. Why did the one who created us say, be anxious for nothing? Take no thought of tomorrow. Why did he say that? Because he knows that worry robs us of our health and our happiness. I'll tell you what. How many have things in your life you wish were not there and you worry about it? Okay, let's all worry. Come on, let's worry. Let's take just a minute and worry. Wring your hands. Come on, wring your hands. We're going to worry. Oh, I'm so worried. I just don't know what to do. I'm just eating my fingernails, and I'm just so worried. Mack, you are crazy. Well, you knew that before you showed up today. Now we got that worrying out of the way. Do you want to know what the answer to worry and stress is from the great physician himself? Here it is. The Lord is my shepherd. I shall not want. That verse will change your life. Now you listen closely to the rest of this sermon. The most important thing in your life are the thoughts that you choose to think. I'm going to repeat that. The most important thing in your life are the thoughts that you choose to think. I say that because God said, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. What we think determines what we say. What we think determines what we do. What we think determines what we are. And what we think determines what we become. As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. That's what you become. If you constantly dwell on the negative, if you listen to the politicians and the news media, all you're ever going to see is the fly in the ointment. You'll never see the ointment, never see the answer. All you'll see is the fly. You not only destroy yourself, but you also destroy those that are around you because of the thoughts that you choose to think. The Lord is my shepherd. I shall not want. I shall not go in lack, because the Lord is my shepherd. Now the key to that verse, the key to the answer, is the possessive personal pronoun. My. The Lord is my shepherd. Not a shepherd, but my shepherd. And because he is my shepherd, I shall not lack. There will always be sufficient. I hate to tell you this. God calls us his sheep. Jesus called us his sheep. Sheep are not the brightest animal in the barnyard. Sheep are one of the dumbest animals. He said, my sheep, the dumbest animal on the planet. They're afraid. Sheep are afraid of almost everything. Sheep are afraid that they're not going to have enough to eat. That's why they're always wandering around, looking for more to eat. Isaiah said, we all like sheep have gone astray and turned everyone to his own way. You know, all of us in our Christian walk has gone astray from time to time. There's a lot of people watching me on television or live streaming. There was a time when they were on fire for God. I mean, if the doors were open, I run into people all the time. If the doors were open, they were there. If there was something going on, they were going to be doing some of it. Everybody knew they were faithful. They could depend on them. They trusted you. They knew that you had the goods. And now the Lord is my shepherd. Are you following the shepherd? Or are you going your own way? Your Christianity is reduced. You know, people think they're so smart. Businessmen think they're the smartest businessman on the planet. Doctors think they're smart. Lawyers think they're smart. And oh my God, preachers think they're smart. I wish I was as smart as some of them think they are. The fact is, we're all just dumb sheep, wandering around in the darkness, about to fall off of the cliff, not understanding that there is no bottom. To fall off the cliff is nothing but a bottomless pit. The Lord is my shepherd. I shall not want. He maketh me to lie down in green pastures. Do you know what that means to a sheep? Sheep cannot eat unless he's moving. He's got to be walking around, looking for the next bite. And sheep won't lay down until he's full and he knows that he's going to have something to eat when he gets up. So the shepherd makes him to lie down in green pastures. That means the sheep is laying on and sleeping on and surrounded by what he can eat when he gets up. He maketh me to lie down in green pastures. Why? So he will know he's got something to eat. When the sheep have eaten all that they can eat, the shepherd has them lay down on the grass, on the bed, surrounded by what they can eat when they wake up. He maketh me to lie down in green pastures. Are you okay so far? He leadeth me beside still waters. Do you know what that means to a sheep? Sheep are deadly afraid of troubled, fast-moving water, because sheep, if their wool gets wet and they're in deep, troubled water, they will drown. How would you like to go swimming with a full-length wool coat and you're trying to swim? Sheep drown easily. Unless the water is still and untroubled, not moving, sheep will often die before they will go to get a drink of water. So the shepherd finds still water, so his sheep will not be afraid. The Lord is my shepherd. He maketh me to lie down in green pastures, and he leads me beside still waters. What are you afraid of? The future? You're afraid of failure? Finances? Security? The good shepherd knows, and he wants to lead you to still waters. You are just so deadly quiet. He leadeth me, and foolish sheep that we are. Or let me change that. He leadeth me, foolish sheep that I am, wandering around with all of our fears, and he leads me to still waters. One thing I've got to tell you, and I'm through. This won't work unless he is your shepherd. John 10, verse 11, Jesus said, I am the good shepherd, and the good shepherd lays down his life for his sheep. He laid down his life for me. Foolish, dumb sheep that I am. Now Isaiah again, if you want to look it up, it's 53:6. He said, we all like sheep have gone astray and turned every one to our own way. When you invite Jesus Christ into your life, he becomes your shepherd. But it's up to you. Are you going to follow him? Or are you going to go your own way? We all like sheep have gone astray and turned everyone to our own way. Even after you have accepted Jesus Christ, you still have to make the choice. Are you going to follow the shepherd? A lot of people calling themselves Christians are no longer following the shepherd. They're making their own way. They've got their own plan. They don't want to do what God said to do. They don't want to follow the shepherd. When you invite him into your life, he becomes your shepherd. But it's up to you to follow him. And you will never know peace until you meet the Prince of Peace. The world is desperately trying to find today relief from the stress, the fear, the worry. They're desperately trying to find peace of mind, peace of heart, peace of soul, body, soul, and spirit. Here's God's prescription for the world. This is God's tranquilizer. Let's all say it together. The Lord is my shepherd. I shall not want. He maketh me to lie down in green pastures. He leadeth me beside still waters. The Lord is my shepherd. I will follow my shepherd.